All praises to the Almighty, sublime, majestic, magical creator of all things. My loving kindness, hallelujah. And to all of my fellow servants in the kingdom of the Most High, I send you infinite love and light, and I receive yours. Hallelujah. Okay, we're going to be looking at what's going on in the earth and also signs and wonders, okay? There's things going on this earth that they call global warming. But I want to confirm to you that it is the host of the Most High riding, because he showed the Hebrew widow some signs and wonder. Like this horse in the cloud, you see the side profile of a horse. He has a companion riding next to him, an angel on top of his head, and a tornado coming out of his mouth. I was instructed. Well, all of a sudden, I'm sitting on my couch, and I was told to get up and go take pictures of the clouds. And there was this horse. I didn't see him until I saw the picture later. And you see the companion next to him with the long, you can see the hairline, the long black hair. There's his mouth with a tornado coming out. And the next day after I took this photograph, you see the angel on his head, you can even see his face. After I took this photograph, the very next day was the worst tornado outbreak ever recorded in history. So the Most High was showing me through the clouds. Yeah, and then this is Kilauea. Okay, was a Kilauea volcano. And the Most High showed me that this was from the host of the Most High. You could see this angel. You could see his pecs, his arms down to the side. It's like he's blowing another entity out of his mouth. And it made a complete circle and then a line. Okay, so that was the Most High's sign and wonder that fire judgment was on the earth, and it's all a part of his host and his works and his orders. So then we find on Google Earth, we find this king of the waters, like the Messiah of the waters is my guess. And he's down in this blue portal. It's a hill with a strange facility around him, which let me know from that this is a living creature, right? This is one of the Most High's powerful servants. And now look at what the facility looks like. That entity is now gone. And I believe it was 2 weeks ago when I discovered that the entity had left out of the portal. The portal is now closed and cloaked, and the facilities and the grounds are now cloaked where they were blue before. So when the entity left the portal, I knew that judgment was going to hit with the waters.
Good evening, everyone. Forecasters are using terms like heat dome and atmospheric rivers to describe what is driving extreme weather conditions across the country tonight. Of course, in the next 7 days, over 250 million Americans can expect temperatures 90 or hotter. Stricken parts of the West can't seem to buy a drop of rain. Too much of it has fallen in Montana and Wyoming. It's been wiping out bridges, roads, and literally carrying houses away. Yellowstone Park closed tonight.
Fires, historic flooding, and extreme drought all at the same time. For devastation, Yellowstone National Park, an icon of Mother Nature, parks now underwater with unprecedented flash flooding just as the busy summer tourist season begins.
Okay, we could see where the fire judgment and the water judgment is upon the earth. Okay, so now let's go to the tornadoes, because this horse has a tornado coming out of his mouth. And so that was the worst tornado outbreak that happened. I believe it was December 10th. I took this photograph on December 9th. I believe it was the day before. So let's listen to this clip.
Starting the night of December 10th, at least 59 9 twisters carved through 10 states, a swarm you wouldn't expect 2 weeks before winter. We spent the last several days in Kentucky, where it was still strangely warm, and questions of climate change are being asked. The answers aren't clear, but we do know what we saw is rare. The storm threw down one twister that cut a path of destruction of more than 165 miles. One
165
meteorologist we
miles
talked
it
with
traveled.
called that tornado a beast. The story will continue in a moment.
Oh, praises to the almighty, majestic, magical creator, the almighty one. Okay, you guys, so since then, it's been tornado after tornado ripping through these United States, but they're happening all over the world as well. I just focused on the United States today thus far, but we're going to look at some of the other natural disasters around the world. But would you look at all of these tornadoes? This is crazy. Yes, and that horse was riding with a tornado coming out of his mouth. Since that day, December 10th, look at these dates on these thumbnails. These are recent tornadoes that's happening. Since that tornado hit, the biggest tornado on record, these tornadoes have been tearing up this earth. Okay, so we're going to look at some footage from Rage of Earth. I highly recommend this station because it really keeps up with all of the natural disasters going on all over the world.
That occurred on June 6th in the province of West Sulawesi. Tens of thousands of residents fled to higher ground following a magnitude 5.8 earthquake in the Mamuju region. The epicenter of the earthquake was in the sea at a depth of 10 kilometers.
That's a really shallow earthquake. So earthquakes that are shallow are felt on the surface a lot stronger, okay? Even though it was a 5 point something, it probably felt like a 6 or 7 because of the shallowness of the earthquake.
650 acres of forest area to varying degrees. 3 firefighters were injured.
Okay, so this is in Spain. We're going to look at quite a few areas of the earth that's getting hit hard in the judgment, okay? So this is Spain, and we see that fire judgment is upon Spain.
A child was killed, and
now we're in Pakistan,
120 kilometers per hour, or 74 miles
looking
per
at
hour
the winds of the Most High. The angels of the winds hit Pakistan hard.
A dust storm, which was so powerful that trees along the main roads were uprooted, resulting in complete disruption of traffic in several parts of the city. Dozens of wall and roof collapse incidents have been reported from across the city, but in most cases, people were able to escape unhurt.
This is another channel that I highly recommend, Planet News, for all of the disasters going on around the earth. So let's look at this clip.
The Chinese called it an apocalypse.
The Chinese called it an apocalypse. I told you China was getting hit hard. Everything going on in China is an apocalypse because they stole something from Eden. Yeah, China's under great judgment for this. That boulder that's in that container belongs to Eden. When they stole it, it caused a rift in the whole entire world economy because ships got stuck because of this stone in the Suez Canal. And China's in big trouble. So if you want to see more details on that, just check out that video.
China's Ministry of Water Resources said on Monday that an emergency level 3 flood control response was initiated due to flooding in the Pearl River Basin in southern China. On the evening of June 12, after a severe storm, Yanjiao, Hebei Province, near Beijing, turned into a huge ocean.
Okay, we're going to look at this video from Mr. MB333, who I highly recommend this channel, okay, to see what's going on with the earth. He does an excellent job.
Just east of the
Okay,
Rockies.
let's look and see
Again,
how many
extending from Texas to
hailstorms there was
Canada.
that went
That's
across
the
the
last
United
5
States.
weeks. Here's a look at the entire spring. Look at that. Extends from Washington to Maine and pretty much everywhere in between, with the exception of Arizona, Nevada, and Utah. With the exception of 3 states. That's the hail that's just reported. That's not including the hail that was not reported. And here's a look at the
Do
tornadoes.
you see how many
And they're
tornadoes hit
trending
the
with hail,
United States?
concentrated
Oh
heavily in the
my
Central Plains and
goodness, look at
extend
that.
from Washington
Just in the
all the way over
springtime.
into New England. I found that very, very impressive. I've never seen that much hail on this hail map in any year that I've ever been following it. Once again, as you can clearly see, this map is completely overwhelmed with hail reports, anywhere from quarter size all the way up to softball size. Very impressive, even down here in Florida, which isn't necessarily known for its hail. It's known for lightning, but not necessarily hail. Look at that, hail extending from Miami all the way up into the Florida Panhandle. That in itself is very rare. I lived in Florida, and it's not known for hail. But this year definitely seems to be the exception to the rule, and overabundance of hail this spring. And the map you're looking at is just for the last 5 weeks.
So those hailstorms and tornadoes were just in the United States, but look at what we got going on here all over the world. All over the world. Now we're going to go into our landslides, because this has a lot to do with all of the waters up on the earth. This is Peru. 15 houses were destroyed, and you see those people digging people up from out of a hole in the wall. It's a lot of people die in these disasters that are not necessarily reported. These landslides are happening all over the world, but I'm going back a couple months. This is one that was in the Philippines. You see how the land just slid down the mountain where there were homes there. And look at, just compare the roof of the houses to how wide that landslide is. It just ran over the houses. Philippine authorities said at least 25 people had died in the landslide. There's no continent on the face of the earth right now that's not facing some kind of judgment, whether it be waters, fires, wind, ice. It's all over the world because we're in judgment. The Most High is changing the landscape. Can you imagine? I can't imagine on my street to have water that high, you know, and have to walk through it. And when you look at these places like that, their infrastructure is destroyed when they're flooded like this, because all the sewers are flooded too. Yeah, so it's like a lot of bacteria, a lot of things, especially with this heat. Okay, so we're going to go back to China again on the Vulnerability Channel. And you see how many people had to be evacuated? 286,000 people had to be evacuated. The information in the video shows incident of June 15th, so that just happened the other day. Where these floods happen to this extent, it forces everybody to stay in place. And your house might be flooded, you know. Look at those downstairs apartments. Everybody's up on the second floor balcony. You're like stuck. You can't go to the store. You can't go to work. You're just frozen in place. And more than likely, the electricity is out. Yeah, the plumbing is out because, like I say, infrastructure is really affected, and this is going to take a long time to clean up. And this happens in the United States too. There's some states where cities are flooded, whole cities and communities are flooded out. It's been happening, but they keep it out of the news. 2,700 homes were damaged. Okay, so we're going to go to Newsroom Africa because I just discussed how infrastructure was affected and how everybody is stuck, right? Well, Cape Town was flooded, and this was just posted a couple hours ago, this video. So Cape Town has been flooded as well. And look how the people have to get to work and the children have to get to school or whatever you have to do. You see the road is completely destroyed by the flood, and this is happening all over the world. The infrastructure is so damaged, it sets everybody back. Look at this kid. He has to cross through that. He doesn't know how deep that hole is. Okay, so this was another sign in the clouds that the Most High had given me. It was the day after I discovered that the water king had disappeared. And doesn't that look like some kind of fish or whale or dolphin or something? And you can see the angel on top of him riding. Then there is the UFO sighting. So we're going to look at this clip from WION. I love this station. I love most of their commentary. Yeah. So let's listen to this clip.
This study will begin later this year. It will last for at least 9 months. And it will cost NASA $100,000.
$100,000? That's not even pennies to NASA. So we see that they're not going to invest much money in the study. Okay, $100,000 is a drop in the bucket.
NASA is getting serious about aliens. Earlier this week, its chief, Bill Nelson, confirmed his belief in alien life. He said he personally believed that extraterrestrial life is out there.
There was a time where if you said that you saw a UFO, everybody thought you were crazy. And we didn't have the phones available, so we just kept it to ourselves if we saw something unusual in the heavenlies. Yeah, and then they had the crash.
In science, the existence of extraterrestrial life. Here's what the space agency intends to do. Set up an independent team of space experts, analyze how information is publicly available, find out how much more is needed to study unexplained sightings, and consider how to use this information for future studies.
So we're going to visit Gina Marie Colvin's channel. She keeps up with so many things happening in the heavenlies and on earth through the earth cams. So let's just check this out, because what you're seeing right there is a ship coming out of the sun.
To join together to make one great big long one. This is coming off of the sun. It's right here.
Okay, so we're going to visit Mr. MBB333 again. This was posted 3 days ago, where a Navy pilot describes a bizarre tic-tac UFO that he encountered. Okay, so we're going to look at the movement of this UFO.
The International Space Station goes back to May of 2022, just a few weeks ago. That's quite fascinating. You're going to see a series of small video clips from May of objects that entered the field of view of the International Space Station as it was high above the Earth. Here's the first one. This one is just a couple of objects that enter the field of view. Don't do any type of incredible maneuvers, except they're mysterious. They're moving at a high rate of speed, and it looks like 2 independent objects. I'm going to slow it down, zoom in. We're going to take a still image and enhance the still image, and we're going to see what definitely looks like 2 independent objects. Keep in mind, these things were moving at an incredible rate of speed. Even though we zoom in and enhance the objects, here it is in a negative format. Light is dark, dark is light. We really can't tell much more about the objects than what we saw at the beginning. Two mysterious objects enter the field of view and depart the field of view. Okay, here we go. This is the segment of the object you're going to see come in from the upper right-hand corner. Almost looks like a white Tic Tac. It comes down towards the lower left, then stops suddenly and goes back to the right. This is absolutely incredible. Never seen anything like it. Here it comes. You're going to see this thing do something that, like the Navy pilot said, seems physically impossible. Watch, here we go. Stops and goes back to the right. Are you serious? How did it do that?
Okay, so we're going to visit my channel. We're going to see a clip where I found UFOs there. Okay, very unusual area. In this area, what's going on? And there are motherships in this area. There are spacecrafts in this area. There's other land vehicles in this area. I think this time I will put the coordinates in the description box. So if you want to go look around this very magical area, yeah, just click on that link in the description box to Google Earth and it'll take you right here. Right now I'm looking at a king. He has on one of those imperial crowns and a white coat sitting in front of a control panel. And there are others around him in this spacecraft. And it has plasma light at the bottom. Yeah, what do you see when you see UFOs? You see lights. Now he is a giant. I'm just going to measure his head from his forehead to his chin. You see that? 13 feet. His head is 13 feet. I told you guys, we are the little people. Yeah, Gulliver's Travel. I forgot his name. I think Jonathan Swift or something wrote Gulliver's Travel. Probably because in his dreams he went to some of these dimensions and came back and wrote a story. Okay, so here's some more visitors look like to Earth. Yeah, they look quite different from us, and they're giant as well. In this area, it's a lot of different life forms. Yeah, look like they come from other worlds. And this is a giant right here. I think I measured him out to be about 80 feet. He's sitting in a chair. Yeah, and right in the same area, this looks like some type of female being. Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very cool. And then there's some giants here sitting on vehicles. They're talking to each other, and then they have tiny vehicles right next to them, which leads me to believe that those are for us. And look, they're giant too. I measured from his head just to the front of the vehicle. All kind of wonderful magic going on over there in Eden being uncovered. And I believe that this area in particular is for visitors from other worlds. Now this has an H on the top like a hospital, but it doesn't look anything like a hospital. And other little structures, they're blue. And you can tell that these are vehicles and that they moved in that sand. So as we're leaving this 3D Earth and going into the 5D, we have a lot of fellow servants and other galaxies and other worlds inside the Earth. And it's just phenomenal. This has been a phenomenal journey. And you're looking right now at a manifestation of the ARC ANGEL URIEL. His right wing spanning up. Look at his body. You know, his left wing is spanning up. His right wing is spanning over the Red Sea. Even his feet are manifested down in Somalia. And I give a shout out to Archangel Uriel for allowing us to come in and visit Eden. Here's his side profile. He even has a tear in his eye, and I believe it's a tear of sadness because he knew as long as he had to stay there in Eden, that mankind was going to be going through it, and haven't we? And so now the balance, the scales are being balanced. It's judgment time now. People are reaping their karma, the good, the bad, and ugly. Look at this fiery sword in front of him. And he's wearing a very beautiful cape with buttons on it. Those are the buttons, and he has one on his collar. He's been there since the fall of mankind. The Most High took Eden into inner earth. And after the Most High took Eden into inner earth, he covered it with the Sahara sands. And where there were sand dunes, it's at the bottom now, because the sands blow off every year to fertilize crops and put nutrients in the water over the earth, and it never returns. And he used these sands as an hourglass. And now we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom of the sands now, where very magical things are appearing. There's also technology involved because there is a cloaking device. You could see where half of the screen looks colorful and the other half looks like it's just a sand trap, like just desolation. And this is all over Uriel's body where this cloaking technology is taking place. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you saw all of the wonderful magic that's happening right now, taking us into the 5D. Yes, judgment is upon this earth, and it's a beautiful thing for those that are in the kingdom of the Most High. But it's awful and terrible for the ones that are not in the kingdom of the Most High. But we are moving forward to the 5D, and the Most High is revealing things to us now like never before. Like never before. And then the natural disasters are on the increase. It's an uptick in everything now. Earthquakes, volcanoes, tornadoes, all of the natural disasters, fires and floods, hailstorms. And now I'm sitting here right now because, oh, it's so hot. Yes, we're being scorched right now. It's a heat dome over us. So it's going to be hot for the next few days. So I just praise the Most High for being able to share these things with you. I hope that this gives you more energy to just keep on going. I don't care what happens. I don't care what. I don't even care if it's yourself. You just keep on pushing because we're at the end right now. The Most High is about to take us into that 5D. I don't know how we're going to get there, but I believe that it's going to be very magical from what I'm seeing over there in Eden. So thank you, everybody, for your support, for supporting this station. Please like, subscribe, and share. Those likes really, really help with the algorithm and putting it out there. Yeah, I don't know much about that, and I don't have very much technical abilities, but I'm trying. So I need your help. I need you guys to push that like and to subscribe so that we can continue this work. This was just a drop in the bucket compared to what's going on all over the earth. So just keep on going. Praise and magnify the Most High. Get all the static out your mind. Get in touch with the kingdom. Yes, that's the most important thing right now. All praises to the Most High. May the Most High bless you, keep you safe, bless your families, heal all the wounds, heal all the family, bring back to the love of our nation. Yeah, so we can go into this 5D partying, honey. I know if a dragon shows up in front of my house, I'm jumping on that dragon. Hopefully it's a lot of angels on it too. Okay, you guys, I really enjoyed um, just showing you all of these wonderful magical things over there in Eden. Yes, I love my job. All praises to the Most High for giving it to me. Yes. Okay, you guys, so until next time, we're going to touch on some more things, connecting what's happening on this earth to our transition to the 5D. Okay, you guys, Shalom, Hebrew Widow out.